So here's the scenario, right? You're about to leave your job and take control of your financial future, right? Maybe you're thinking of buying a franchise. Maybe you're thinking of starting your own business and you're ready to take those steps towards being an entrepreneur. But here's the truth. Each of those paths has serious legal consequences you probably haven't considered. And if you get it wrong, you could end up stuck in a high-risk situation that might look like freedom, but legally isn't, and you're gonna wish you weren't there. I'm Karam, the 20-year battle-tested attorney, and I'm also an entrepreneur, right? I've helped entrepreneurs set up businesses, I've represented the franchisees, I've seen franchisors do some really bad things to franchisees, and I've represented business owners in litigation. Today, I wanna help you make your next move with clarity, right? Not regret. So by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 paths that people take when they're leaving their 9 to 5. Which one gives you real freedom? Which one could trap you in legal obligations you never saw coming? And it's really hard to get out, believe me. So let's jump right in. Path 1 is that of an employee. As an employee, you're on a payroll, right? You get a paycheck. Taxes are withheld and you're protected by employment laws. It's not a bad gig, but you don't own anything. You're not building a brand. You're trading time for money. The upside is capped and the control is minimal. So the legal reality is you're probably the least liable, but you're also the least empowered. So you work in the system. You don't own the system and you didn't create the system. That's being an employee, right? Now, path 2 is being a franchisee. This is where many people look when they want more control, but they don't want the full responsibility or risk of being an entrepreneur. You buy into a brand, you follow their systems, you pay their fees. In return, you get support and an infrastructure. Sounds good, right? But here's what most don't realize. As a franchisee, you're still not free. Legally, you're bound by something called a franchise disclosure document. That's the FDD. This is a contract that controls almost everything and about how you operate your business, right? You're gonna be restricted by operating requirements, marketing rules, mandatory fees paid to the franchisor. The franchisor really dictates how you run your business. You're gonna get regular audits, compliance checks. You can be sued, shut down, or stripped of your license if you don't follow the rules exactly as written by the franchisors. So here's the kicker with the franchise, right? You think you're running your own business, but you're really buying yourself a job with overhead and liability. You own the business entity, but you don't own the brand. And you can't change the menu, the hours, or the marketing. You're renting permission to use someone else's name. So the legal reality is really tough, right? You take on the risk without full control. You're stuck in the middle. You're not an employee, but you're not truly an entrepreneur either. And most importantly, you're in a worse position of power to the franchisor, who's usually much more sophisticated than you, right? So path 3 is what everybody thinks they want to become an entrepreneur, right? This is full of ownership. You build the brand, you set the rules, you take home the rewards, it's all on you. But you also take on all the legal responsibility. Nobody's gonna hand you standard operating procedures. You need contracts, compliance systems, IP protection, and real legal strategy to scale without getting sued. You need a business defense system on top of all the sales and marketing starting your own business. So the legal reality is you're exposed and nobody's there to help you, but you can protect yourself with the right lawyer inside your business and the right defense system. That's where real freedom lives. It's about protecting what you built as an entrepreneur. It's the only way to true financial freedom. So here's something that surprises most people. If you're thinking about licensing your brand to others, collecting fees and controlling how they run their business, then you might be accidentally creating a franchise without even knowing it. Because a franchise is basically a licensing arrangement. And that means you're now playing under one of the most regulated business models in America. And that's the problem with franchises. So let me explain. A franchise isn't just McDonald's or Subway, Burger King, what you see out there. Legally, a franchise exists when there's 3 things are present. Number 1, you license your trademark or brand. Number 2, you control or assist how the other business operates. And number 3, you collect a fee, even as little as $500 in some states. So of all these 3 conditions exist, congratulations, you could legally be a franchisor, and that comes with massive compliance requirements. You have to file an enormous legal document called a franchise disclosure document with the government, right? You have to register in certain states before you can even sell, right? You have to provide audited financials. And if you don't comply, you can be sued for rescission, maybe even fraud and all sorts of other things. And the person can get their money back, right? And damages. So this is why so many entrepreneurs accidentally create illegal franchises. They don't even know it, right? They think they're just licensing their system. But legally, they've triggered franchise law, and they had no idea. And ignorance of the law is what? No excuse. If you're buying into someone else's brand, you're already playing under franchise rules. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not freedom. And if you're building your own business and thinking about licensing it, you need to know whether you're creating a franchise, because if you are, you better be ready to comply or you'll face tremendous lawsuits, could be civil penalties, and worse off, personal liability, because franchising isn't bad, but it's not the same as entrepreneurship. And most people confuse the two and don't really understand the legal distinctions, and that's where you get hurt. So that's why I created the Legally Bulletproof Academy and provide training for entrepreneurs so they can understand business and law that applies to them and see the enemies and liabilities that I've seen over my 20-year career. My goal as an attorney is to be your mentor, right? To help you prevent the problems and liabilities that cause entrepreneurs to lose. Right now, you can get a free risk report. It's a $7,500 service. I do one-on-one as a mastermind, but it's yours for free. It's a report that'll show you exactly where your business is legally exposed and what you need to do to fix it, and it's completely free, right? There's no pitch, there's no pressure. It's real legal insight, real business insight into helping you identify the risks and enemies that are going to take down your business. All you have to do is click below, get a free risk report. If you like this video, smash the like button. I'm Karam, the battle-tested lawyer. Stay legally bulletproof.